Okay, hey everybody. I'm Sturgis Adams, and I serve as Geenee's CCO. And Geenee is a mobile software company that helps portable devices recognize the world around them and deliver web-based content. And our mission is to put image recognition everywhere. And Geenee was founded about 4 years ago in Berlin, and we're now based in Los Angeles as well as Germany. And our company is focused on two things: recognition and results. And what that means is visualized in what you see here on the screen. Using our software, you can point your phone at any image or video, really anywhere it exists. And in this case, it's Game of Thrones key art on a piece of street furniture. And Geenee will recognize that media and deliver results. And those results can be anything from an information card to a description of the cast of characters to a mini game that is browser-based. And I might add, there is a Game of Thrones browser-based mini game for those of you who are as obsessed as I am. And that's not all you can do. You can also have an invitation to an AR gallery where you can do things like tour Winterfell in room scale AR. And that is, of course, if Winterfell still exists after the season finale. No spoilers here. But the thing that sets Geenee apart is that we are a cloud-based platform. And we're a platform that does not require any app download whatsoever. And non-app-based AR is now here, as you've probably heard from the presentation preceding me and the one that's going to come after me, and probably a number of others in this building. And we are one of the companies delivering that. And the incredibly exciting thing about the evolution of WebAR is that for us at Geenee, that allows us to combine these contextual and more functional results with the more magical and exciting experiences that WebAR can deliver. Things such as driving a BMW out of a billboard, parking it on the ground, customizing it to your liking, and then scheduling a test drive. And what separates us here, again, is that the system is designed to deliver multiple web-based results in one interface that can all be different. And they're all triggered off of a single recognition event. And that means that a single scan of one image, just like this Game of Thrones key art, can deliver this multi-layered story, right? That's composed of any elegant combination of AR and more contextual and functional things, like a map or an email capture or a trailer for the new season, like you're seeing here, right? And we like that because as the internet sort of continues to evolve and get more and more immersive every day, it's doing a pretty good job with keeping up with the current trends of behavior that we're seeing, where people will point their phones at stuff and use their phones for pretty much everything. And the internet has finally allowed us to experience things like room scale AR with not a severe sacrifice of fidelity or accessibility, and you're seeing that all over this building, and it's getting better every day. But the physical world has actually not done a great job evolving in lockstep with the digital, and Geenee is dedicated to helping these portable devices that are in our hands, but soon to be in our faces, of course, be capable of accessing the digital world from the physical one more simply and easy. In other words, we kind of want to be there when a human is inspired to point their phone at stuff and learn more about the things around them. We want to use the things around them to access the digital realm. And everyday things is what I mean by that. Things like street signs, things like billboards, things like airports, bus stations, TVs. We want to enable users to turn these things into windows to the digital world. And because those things are natural, we focus on a user-centered design process for everything we make that is also natural. We're really committed to giving developers, like the people in this room, tools to meet the user where they already are. And many of these things around us that we want to make windows out of have the media of brands on them. And that's great for us because our technology is really, really good at recognizing branded media. We're really, really good at using our feature-based image recognition to turn the surfaces and the screens and really anything that is 2D or even 3D, because of our patents in feature-based image recognition, we can bring that same level of accessibility to 3D objects like beverage cans, cereal boxes, and other packaged consumer goods. And if you come hang out with us at booth 845, you can see some of the latest and greatest versions of that in action, thanks to our friends at agencies like Innovation Rocks that are helping us make these incredible experiences that push our own technology forward. As well as, of course, for developers, a really easy-to-use CMS and database and annotation system for developers and creators, which allows the content that this bridge I'm describing to change dynamically and instantly at the moment that the developer is inspired, with a browser-based camera as the through line to that content. And this is the cool thing. You know, our video capabilities very simply allow us to create the scan of to let one scan of a browser-based camera deliver hundreds, if not thousands of stories, because we have the ability to change any element of that instantly. And video to us is just a bunch of images. And because of that, we can even tell a different story with every single frame of video because of the system's ability to deliver these multiple results off of a single recognition. And what really, really makes us special at the end of the day is that we can do all of this amongst the challenges of the natural world. What you're seeing here is the back of my handsome colleague Luke's head. And he is pointing his phone down the street at just a little smidge of a Han Solo piece of out-of-home that's on the side of a building, and there's lots of different stuff in the way. There's cars, there's other brands even, there's trees and glare and angle, which would make the recognition of that challenging for any platform, but we can do it. And that is because we believe that the ability to make this recognition work in the natural world and pull recognition out of these experiences really sets us apart, and it's a critical element of our belief system. And it is an element of our belief system because we believe that if we want to compel people to seek the hidden content behind all of these surfaces and screens and objects around them, that accessibility to those experiences need to be just as easy as the experiences themselves. And the way to access Geenee is just as easy as it can be today, whether it's working with these firmware partners to develop one-click access to the camera, whether you're initiating the website via a QR code in your native camera, as many people are doing today or getting used to doing, or whether you're going through a social or SMS link directly, or responding to a call to action from a brand like Twitter or Instagram, or just pushing a button inside of a mobile app. The point is we offer developers the opportunity and any opportunity they want to work with our system flexibly. And if you come by our booth, again, live at booth 845, you can see more experiences like this through other partners of ours that we're very proud to be working with, like Pretty Big Monster, who I think is in this room as well, who has created some interfaces for us, which you'll see a little teaser of at the end of this, but it's much better in real life, we promise. So an example of how of how we do this is with what we did with Miller Lite. And this is worth mentioning because this took an army. This was a bunch of partners. We were asked by Unity to help assist Eighth Wall and an agency called Trigger because, as you've seen, there are incredible web-based AR agencies out there like Pretty Big Monster that I recognize, and like Innovation Rocks, who's also another partner of ours. And Trigger designed this experience, but it's really hard on the web to recognize a cylindrical object like a can in a bar because it's dark and because people are drunk and because they are doing things from angles that they wouldn't normally do things from in the natural world. So we were asked to come in and help do this, and we were able to pull it off. And what it's doing here is it's moving from a social call to action to focus on the recognition of this can. And then, of course, a little green man plays. And what we noticed was that we were driving from social to the real world, meaning the browser-based camera was accessed via Facebook and Instagram via these feeds, and then opened up in the real world and pointed at these cans. And then what we also noticed was user-generated content was being produced, which of course brought it right back to social. And that was very, very exciting for myself as a recovering marketer to experience, because it starts to actually tie the knots between social and experiential. And that's been a missing puzzle piece, as you can see, not to toot our own horn, but better someone else than me trying to get you to trust me. And the rich mobile experiences that we can provide with all of our partners who can create these magical experiences by combining AR and contextual layers inside a single website is what our brands have been waiting for. Is Andrew Klein in this room, by the way? No, probably not. He's in New York, but he's great. Thanks for the quote, Andrew. So what you're seeing here is the little green man in action, and this is a video that our friends from Eighth Wall made. And it's just exciting because this finally got real this year. I'll let the man sing for himself. That's it. One of the things to note here, as we're beginning to do this stuff, is we have a product, and we're trying to collect all of these APIs into one bucket, right? Where we can let a developer, like the people in this room, go from A to Z in an experience that includes the ability to combine these really incredible, magical AR experiences that are now available on the web with more contextual and functional experiences. And as I keep going through this deck, you're just going to see some other ideas that we have. And here we're just developing the idea to help storytell through interactive mobile, pulling key art from a Minions piece. Some different story compartments, and this is all done on the internet, of course. And then the trick here is that you want to be able to add buttons using this menu here, if it didn't disappear, that menu, and all of those words you can couple with this experience that you're seeing here, using the magic of web-based AR. Things like a Fandango integration using their API. Things like an email capture. Really anything that is a core mobile KPI that hasn't changed in the last 20 years, combining that with AR on the web allows us to not only deliver these rich mobile experiences in a more unique way than ever before, but it also allows us to have an answer to why people will be compelled to point their phone at stuff. And we believe that the answer is AR in order to get people to seek that hidden content behind our partners' media on every surface and screen or object out there. And just to keep going, we can also help activate things like a lightweight version of a car chooser here. And if you want to explore things like an automobile or even clothing, which you can come see, or retail, Pretty Big Monster has a fantastic demo using some retail products that you can check out. And this actually allows us to bring these things to life and augment like an out-of-home display here, and then drive users to an even richer experience in the brand's native app or on channels like Snap or Instagram, where these kinds of experiences are increasingly familiar. And of course, what we can do is allow both users and brands to connect the dots in this really simple and flexible way that layers right into existing programs. And then, just to keep going, there's new moments for brand engagement here, right? This is an example of a mini game being initiated off an airport poster, and then actually getting carried with you on the flight. And because we have access to these different screens, we can actually map the two screens together as part of the same connected brand experience. And that is unique because it may not actually be part of the same ad buy, potentially. So being able to connect those two is a big thing for marketers. And on slide 14 here, we're just giving mobile users an experience to remember through our portal product here. You know, and all of this stuff, what you're really seeing is, and hearing, is that anything from the WebAR movement that is happening in many places in this building that we're very, very proud to be a part of, which includes all these magical experiences that you've probably heard about, or if you haven't tried yet, AR on the web is here, and you know, you'll probably experience it for the first time. And even though that is really, really cool and is the reason that people will start to learn that they can point their phone at stuff and stuff will happen, we don't want to forget about maybe a little bit more boring things that are still really valuable when we're trying to sell this stuff and when we're trying to get users to connect the dots, right? These are core mobile KPIs for brands. You know, I know this is the Augmented World Expo, but we want to end on a more kind of bread and butter note, because being able to use something like this, out-of-home inventory, through the mobile web to deliver specific semantic results, like where the nearest storefront is, or putting butts in seats in theaters. We believe that the promise of augmented reality on the web really goes hand in hand with all the other cool stuff that you can do on mobile. Here's another example in closing, as I promised, of one of the interfaces our partners built that really starts to get into the magic of what these interfaces can do. And so, you know, at Geenee, we're really trying to give developers this suite of tool, you know, from instant recognition of any 3D object or 2D object of any kind, and we want to put the results of that in the hands of developers like our friends at Pretty Big Monster, like our friends at Innovation Rocks, at Trigger, and brands they're connected to do with it what they will, just like you're seeing here. So let's imagine something together. Come and see me, or be one of these brands, agencies, and platforms that we work with every day, or email me. But we are live at booth 845 if you want to come say hi. Thanks very much.